Go ahead.
Okay. It's my pleasure to introduce Blessing, a data analytics and AI manager in the risk advisory division at Deloitte in Nigeria. Blessing has successfully led various BI projects aimed at providing actionable insights for decision-making across different management levels for clients across West and Central Africa. And she has also worked on various machine learning projects. Currently, she's a member of Deloitte's Gen AI practice in Africa and has extensive knowledge in working with various cloud architectures, as well as several programming tools and languages. And she also has significant experience in training and development and is actively involved in providing data analytics support on external audit engagements. Today, Blessing will be sharing her experiences in the data analytics field, and her topic for today's talk would be data analytics consulting in Nigeria, the project's challenges, solutions, and lessons learned. Over to you, Blessing.
Thank you very much, Star, and good afternoon, everyone. Or I must say good morning and good evening to those in a different time zone. So today, as mentioned by Star, we're talking majorly on data analytics consulting in Nigeria. So before I dive into it, I think there's need for me to give a little concept of what data analytics is all about and also what data analytics consulting is all about. Then I'll pick some use cases. That's where I'm going to talk about some projects that I've worked on. Then I'm going to wrap it up with some challenges that we faced with regards to data analytics in Nigeria and some proposed solutions that I think can help with solving those challenges. So just a quick introduction. I need to move this. Excuse me. I'm trying to take the Zoom stuff off my screen. Okay, so just a quick introduction. Data analytics is a process of you getting your data, analyzing them, and you are able to make some informed decision out of the data that you've collected. Yeah, so it's heavily on usage of technologies and tools and techniques for you to be able to, your organization to make some informed decision out of the data that you have, right? So you might have a lot of data, but when you're not nesting them, when you're not making some insightful decision from them, so they are just as good as just you having them there without taking use of them. So what I have in those arrays, from data to insight, from there you'll be able to make some actions that are depending on the data that you have, which is going to lead to impact, right? So the first thing will be for you to acquire the data, organize them, analyze, then you deliver, and then you can measure the impacts that you have, that you got from the data. So briefly, I would like to talk about data analytics consulting. Yeah, this is the service of providing data analytics solution to clients, right, across various industry and domain, such as banking, telco, health. It's not limited to this, even it's got across education as well. Right, so these are just some of the way we help our clients. We help them to get insights, right, from data and generate actionable recommendations. Also, we have to improve operational efficiency and performance, because if you have your data, you'll be able to analyze it and make good use of it. Say, for example, a store, if you have your data and you're able to know your peak period, and when you don't have peak period, then you can manage your staff properly. So you don't need to have all your staff present when there is no peak period, and then you have little staff maybe because due to breakdown, because they always have to be in the store all the time. But with data analytics, you can plan very well, because you'll be able to maybe predict when you're going to have a peak period and then plan your resources very well. So in Nigeria, it's a growing and competitive market for data analytics with many local and international players, right, offering the service. So the very first use case I'll be talking about is Advanced Data Analytics Management Platform, which we call ADAM. This was built for a telco here in Nigeria. So the telco has OPCO in 11 different countries here in Africa, Nigeria being one of them. And so this platform was built using Google Cloud, right? So we're able to, because if you are looking at a telco company that you have a lot of customers, they have up to 270 million subscribers, right? And most of them are making calls every day, sending messages. And then you want to be able to give your customer the right products for them, right? You want to be able to leverage on the data that you have from this customer and be able to suggest the right thing that meets the customer needs. So it's actually a big project, and it's a very, very challenging one, right? Because pulling data from a lot of subscribers and you being able to undo it, the latency, that's the time in which the data gets to you, and be able to make actionable insight from it. So here are some of the challenges that we face with EDOM. That's about building a data platform that can handle this level, this amount of data that is coming from your subscribers, and also to make sure that the platform is scalable, is reliable, and also is secure in the cloud. Everybody is really, really concerned about their privacy and their data being on the cloud, and also being able to leverage the power of AI, that's artificial intelligence and machine learning tools, such as BigQuery and Vertex AI. So these are some of the challenges that we face. And also, adopting this new technology, it's really to get the business to adopt the technology, not just the project owner, but across the business. All right. So also to create a solution that is uniquely for Africa, bringing a lot of data scientists together from Africa, right? And also helping them to create this platform so that it can meet with Africa issue, and also given that most of the customers are Africa. So these are some of the benefits that came from ADAM, right? It helps to improve the customer experiences with AI and machine learning that power the insight from it. Then also it provides customers with more personalized and relevant experiences based on their preferred needs. So now, instead of me pushing an advert to a customer that will come and buy data, whereas this customer is heavy on making calls, so I can say, okay, I'll give you a subsidized bundle where you are able to make calls. So say, let's say it's just a local farmer, and what it needs is to make calls, contact those that are going to buy his product. So if I'm pushing those type of ads to that customer, then the customer will be more ready to subscribe to that than me telling maybe the farmers come and buy data, whereas the farmer does not even have a phone that he can use for data. Then also we're able to provide a centralized data that you can easily access, that with this, they were able to improve analysis quality such that they can build analysis, they can build machine learning on the go rather. So if they have any ML model they want to build, since we have a centralized data environment, and with the help of BigQuery, they can just go there and Vertex AI rather, they can go there and build their ML model. So as I mentioned, it's offer a personalized customer offering. So the second use case I'm going to be talking about, right, is it is a sustainability data management system. Apologies about that. So the SDMS stands for Sustainability Data Management System. Almost everywhere, but everybody wants to build a business that is sustainable, right? So, but then one of the issues is that data is all over everywhere. So you might ask someone that, okay, what's the amount of water we consumed last month? And what the person will have to do is, oh, let me go and check where I write it inside a paper, or let me check my email so I can know the amount of water that we consume. Maybe I must have probably sent that email to someone, or maybe you meet with someone and say, oh, I need to know my paper consumption so I can see if I'm to reduce or I'm to increase, or I want to know my fuel consumption to see the CO2 that I'm generating and things like that. Then this person will have to be moving around department, oh, please, how many liters of fuel did we buy last month and things like that. So the data sits just around, right? So what we did for this client is that they were interested in having an overview of their sustainability, how sustainable they are as a business. So what we did for them is an FSI in Nigeria. What we did for them is to build a system, right, such a way that the very first one was to build a template for them in collecting sustainability data, on which we now build the web application. If you look at the left here, we see data coming from ERP, CRM system, data coming from Excel. Even we have some hard copy documents that we had to load into the system. Then we have some multiple financial, like structured and unstructured data that came in, right? Then we model those data into our web platform, and on the web platform, we develop a template such that going forward, instead of them having data in unstructured format, they can log into that web application and input data that has to do with sustainability data management into it. Then at the back of the web application, there's an analytics repository, right, that do some ETL on the data and make sure that proper data is loaded into the data warehouse. So on top of that, we build some validation, some approvers, some notifications, and we also have some triggers such that there are some sustainability information that they want to be complied with on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis. So based on that, we're able to build some triggers to remind them that, oh, you are maybe 7 days to your due date, you need to do this. Have you done this? Have you done that? So we build that on top of it. Then at the end of it, there's another front end that you can visualize. You can see, oh, okay, I've set a target that I don't want to consume more than maybe 10 liters of fuel per month, but now I've already consumed 8 liters of fuel. Then you know how you're going to reduce that. Or maybe you set a target that, oh, we don't want to have any incidents or any accidents for any of our staff within the company. And then, so you can actually track with that visualization. You can monitor where you are and know when to reduce some of the resources that you are using, right? So these are some of the benefits. I know I've talked about it briefly. So we have a central and safe storage, right, for sustainability and ESG related data. It has an automated reporting and continuous monitoring on it, which improve decision making. It also have an interactive visualization, real-time accessibility. You can access it on your phone, on your laptop, and also it helps the business to have an insight at a glance. You can just look at your reports and know where you have. Then you can customize dashboard, right, based on some key indicators, right? And also it reduces human error, okay? Then drives efficiency. So the next use case I'm going to be talking about, so I just have to be, is data governance maturity assessment. So because data governance is actually a big issue, it's really one of the challenges I listed, right? So I think I just need to talk briefly on data governance essential to to give an overview of what it's all about, right? So data governance is all about a set of quality control disciplines, right, that is used for managing, improving, maintaining, monitoring, and protecting information across the enterprise. So why is effective data governance important to the business? If you have an effective data governance, you can drive many benefits across the entire business if there is a coordinated data governance approach across the enterprise. Then when do organization need formal data governance? There are 4 scenarios to it, right? That can help you to trigger when your organization needs to move. So when you have a trigger, when you want to move from plain data management to formal data governance, when one of these 4 things occur, when you have issue with size, complexity, then your data is going cross-functional integration, then cross-functional integration, then there's regulation that plays, then you know now it's a time for you to start thinking about data governance within your organization. So now, then the last bit is, why do I need it? A strong data governance ensure consistent and relevant data, and by extension, competitive agility driven by sound business decision making, because now your data is properly structured, you're following the right policy is in place, your customer knows that their privacy is top priority to you, so they are convenient, they are okay, they are comfortable with maybe banking with you or trusting whatever thing you share with them, because they know you are going to take their privacy into account. Then organizations are increasingly recognizing the importance of high quality data and critical role of high quality data as a key business asset, because it's not just enough to have data, but what's the quality of the data you have? Is it usable? For example, you might have maybe a column for gender, where you have F representing female, and you also have female all spelled out. So by the time you want to count the number of F, you realize that you are missing some people that have actually typed female. So then the question is your data usable? Do you have the right quality? Is something that you can leverage on? So I'm going to talk about the data governance maturity assessment that we did for this client. What we did was to conduct this assessment, whereby we examine the current data governance that they have. We benchmark it against their respective target state. And for us in my company, we have some frameworks that we use for our data governance, and that's DAMA, data management tool, that we use to measure data, your current state and where you want to be. So we focus on the following area of assessments. We look at the information lifecycle. We assess the organization practice relating to data and information lifecycle. So Do you still need to keep this information? Is the what's the life cycle of the information that comes in from point of entering to maybe using it for visualization at the end of the day? Then we look at data privacy. How are you with, how is the company aligned with data privacy? So we evaluate how the client and organization comply with data privacy regulations that we have in Nigeria, those that have been imposed by the government, and sometimes there are some that's been imposed by the firm themselves, right? So we align, we kind of evaluate that. Then the next thing is to do a data governance. We assess their data governance processes, the policies that they have, the structure that they put in place to ensure that the information assets are protected, reliable, and fit for purpose at all levels, right? Then the next thing is to do a data policy and assurance to assess the data governance practices and tools to maintain that high data quality is always available. Then the next thing is enterprise analytics, where we hold fast-finding session with relevant stakeholders, right? So it's not just them telling me that, oh, right, we have data policy in place, but then we ask for evidence. Where's the evidence, right? So if we say you do this every day or every week, so what we do is, okay, this week we ask for evidence, next week we ask for evidence, and we try to measure it. And also at the end of the day, we record based on what we have done the interview session, what you've seen, we're able to recommend them that, okay, yes, this is the state where you are and this is where you want to be. So I'm moving to some of the challenges, right? So far I've covered 3 use cases on some of the projects that we've done in data analytics, but it's not limited to those use cases. I just think I should pick those 3, right? So here are some of the challenges that we face in data analysis consulting right here in Nigeria, right? We have the issue with data quality, data literacy skills, data security and privacy, data culture, right? So as I said, it's not just having a data, right? So what's the quality of the data? Is this something that you can use at any time? So this data, is it secure? Do we have privacy for the data that we have? Then the literacy skill of the people that want to use the data. Can they analyze it? I mean, literacy skill is really, really essential for you to be able to analyze, for you to do effective governance decision making, right? And also the data culture within each firm, right? So, because like if the leadership is not supporting any of the data strategy, you might just want to be doing it, and then leadership is not supporting. There's nothing really that you can do about that. So here are some of the possible solutions that I've put out, right? To overcome some of these challenges, need for regularly to evaluate your data quality dimension and review security measure around your data. Also, you need to implement data governance framework. That's really, really essential. Data policy assessment process, security policy, privacy practice, right? Then also you need to do a data literacy training, especially for your team members and those that which you need to onboard them and bring them so that if they're going to help to drive data literacy across board in your firm. So in addition, leaders also need to support, right, the development or an implementation of effective data governance strategy. So you shouldn't just be left alone to the data governance guide, because if there's no leadership support, I'm sure that it's going to, a lot of people might not be able to support or drive the mission, right? Okay, so I think I've been able to cover those sections. Then I have a place for question and answer, right? So if you have some questions with regards to maybe data analytics project and with regards to data analytics consulting here in Nigeria, and maybe, yeah, so you can please feel free to ask your questions.
Thank you so much for the informative talk. That was really insightful. We have a question in the chat. So it's a long question, but I'll cut it into 3 parts. The first part of the question is, there's a comment, this is a very complex and impressive project. I'm wondering which region of Africa, I'm assuming the Western area, is covered, and which countries are covered.
Oh, which of the projects? Is it the ADAM, or that's the Advanced Data Analytics Management, or the STMS, that's Sustainability Data Management, or the data governance. Okay, so I don't think they can speak. So I'm just going to talk to you generally. So for the other, I know of Nigeria, Cameroon, I know of Ghana. So I think it's across the OPCO for that telco. So, but for me, really, I was really involved with one that has to do with Nigeria and Cameroon for
Okay.
Adam. And for the STMS, we develop it for a couple of our clients here in Nigeria, and also as well as data governance. So.
Okay. I hope that answers it for the person. And then the next part of the question is there an effort through international aid or investors to move the network into other potentially poorer neighborhood countries?
Okay, as a consultant, I'm going to say we have some of our offices in some neighboring countries, right? But for example, the SDMS, there's an SDMS that I'm currently working on for one of my FSI clients that was sponsored by an investor, right? So I know that there are some investors. So the reason why the investor is sponsoring it is that they want to enable their client to have that sustainability culture imbibed in them. So with that, they want them to build a sustainability data management system such that they can use it to send reports to that investor rather. So it's actually being sponsored by investors. So I know there should be some other couple of projects, right? That is being done by investors, but like that's like the major ones that I've experienced. And then I know some of our cloud practitioners as well are trying to sponsor some POC for some of our clients here in Nigeria. So
Okay. Thank you. And then the last part, I think you already answered this, but I'll just say it. Also, Nigeria is English speaking. Are the other countries also English speaking, or are there Francophone countries included?
yes, they are Francophone. I remember there was a time I did a project on regulatory compliance. That's similar to the STMS, but this time around is focusing on regulatory data. So I did this for a client in Côte d'Ivoire, which is a Francophone speaking country. So it helps them to monitor and track their regulatory compliance obligations, right? They have over thousands of regulations that they have to monitor. Some of them are monthly, some of them are yearly, and some of them have sanctions on them, such that if you don't meet up with those regulations at the due date, there are sanctions that you have to pay, there are penalties. So you're able to develop a system for them that they can use to monitor all their compliances with notification and triggers on it, such that it sends reminders to the owner of that regulation within the firm. And in case the person is not doing what the person needs to do, there's an escalation to maybe the next level. And then if there's few days, there's another escalation measure that goes out. So with that, it helps them to keep tracks with all their regulations. So yes, we do so. We do some of our projects for Francophone country as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. If there are other questions, we have about. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Blessing, for the informative talk. That was really, really insightful. Thank you for taking the time out to present to us. And we're right on schedule for the next speakers.
Thank you.